Is this thing on?
Hello everybody and welcome back to Feed the Beast Infinity Evolved Expert Mode with me, TechnoJock. Last episode we'd got a cool mob farm set up in the last millennium and done a little bit of work on it. I did a couple revisions of it and I've got it working quite well. First revision was a little bit poor and the second revision has become rather productive, to say at the very least. But we're coming over here and doing something. Actually, we'll come over here and do something, and I'll show you what I've been up to. I'm making a bookcase. There we go. I can be a librarian. And the reason we've done that is we're coming over here and we can go like this and dump some levels into this tank here. Just an XP drain from open blocks. That's just iron bars in a 3x3, and quite happily dump some XP into this. We'll take this one. These tanks from open blocks are fantastic for carting around like this. And we can go over to our fluid transposer. So we're going to change this over so it's going to take the XP out of this tank and put it into its internal tank here. And it'll go up to, we can pull it out just at 8. There we go. Doesn't matter, there's a bit more in there, we'll sort that out in a second. And if we change it back, we're going to imbue this bookshelf with this liquid XP. And we'll get something rather cool out of it. There's a few ways of getting these things. Magical wood. And we'll put that back in there, and that will also empty that out. And we'll put this back just over here for the time being. So magical wood is handy stuff. It can replace bookcases for doing enchantment, and we have an enchantment table over there. That's not what this is for though. What we are doing is, in here, you'll see I've already got some magical wood this way, and I'm making a tough rod with it. There we go. And we're making another tough rod out of thaumium. Now, like thaumium and paper, magical wood gives this modifiable modifier. Thaumic, modifiable, and paper writable, I believe. Yep. All do roughly the same thing. There are a few differences. Paper and magical are similar in that each one of these gives an extra modifier. Thaumium does the same thing, but the second one doesn't count. So that would give one modifier. A second thaumium tough rod wouldn't give another modifier, but a third and fourth piece would. That looks pretty cool. What does it look like that way around? Now that is durability 57196354. Exactly the same, so it's purely aesthetic. Okay, and I think I will go with that. Yeah, we can rename it to something later on if we so wish. The other thing about the magical wood is it confers a bonus if all of the tool, if every piece of the tool is made from magical wood, it gets 11 modifiers. Yep, you heard me, 11 modifiers. I think if you do it with paper and with thaumium, you get 5 modifiers, which is pretty cool, but 11 modifiers? But the problem with it is tools made from it are pretty poor. Let's have a look. Come out of that. Come out of this, and if I show you, yeah. If we'd made the entire scythe out of magical wood, it would be +3 damage, which isn't very good. But there you go, 11 modifiers. And yeah, tools, yeah, mining speed of 0.6, and the durability is really low as well. But I have plans for this later on down the line. But an Enderium scythe, there we go, +15 attack damage for that. And I want to go and stick, if I can, I want to stick a redstone flux capacitor on there. Excellent, yep, I can do that. And I'm going to stick one piece of lapis on there and start getting luck, which will be quite nice. And I'm going to go over here and get some extra attack damage as well. It's not in there, it's in here. Now, That's charging up from my capacitor on my hotbar. I did wonder what it was doing for a second there. Now, if we put this in here, now you've got to be careful with this. Nether quartz adds on damage, but so does Certus quartz. But one piece of Certus quartz is worth 24 nether quartz. But you try and put on two, and it takes up a slot. But if you have a look, plus 15 attack damage. Take that off. Still plus 15 attack damage. It's still 15 attack damage. It's still plus 15 attack damage. Come out to that. Okay. And what happens if I go back over and use nether quartz, which I think I have in my big wall of stuff? I'm not seeing it. There we are. We'll just take 2 bits to prove a point here. So what does this do? That takes it up. It doesn't make any difference whatsoever, but maybe I need a bit more of it on there. I'm going to hold off at the moment. We don't really need the extra attack damage quite yet. So I'm going to pop this stuff back in here. There we go. Do like that. And I think I had some more magic wood that I'm saving up. Here. There we go. Right, so back over and I'll show you what's going on with the mob farm. So you'll see a little bit of a difference. I tried up various things with it, but primarily the differences are the drop chute is wider. It is now 3x3, so everything can fall down, and you'll see that there are spiders there. And you'll see that that is very, very full indeed. Let's... Yeah. That's 13 levels from a couple of hits. Right, let's have a look up here. He's probably not going to be happy. You'll see what's happened here is I've swapped everything out for conveyor belts. And I've made this section up here. I ran out, obviously, of conveyor belts there. And then there's this little bit here. So, in an attempt... In an attempt to make things not die when they fall down, when they came off of here, I've kind of done it a slightly different way, so they all drop down onto this level first and then fall down onto the main platform. Quite keen to do something about... There we go. Right, now... So yes, this is very good, and XP's everywhere, and it's very noisy here, and I'm going to turn down my game sounds for a second. Oh, that's better. Yeah. So, we want to very carefully come down here and have a look over the edge, and we want to put this on here and come along. Right, and we're wanting to do like that, and can we maybe come up and do it like this? Yeah, we'll be able to get into that. Like that, and we can put on a chest here. God, this is getting busy, isn't it? Right, if we pop that there like that, and then we can put this hardened servo on here, and like that, this will be a little bit better. It's going to pull in all this stuff, and is it? Oh, wow. Right, so it's pulling out all the stuff from here. Excellent. We're getting a load of stuff. So we've got a transfer node on the bottom with a world interaction, or a few world interaction upgrades and stack upgrades. So that's brilliant. But as you can see, it's pretty horrendous here. We've got orbs in our face. It's just not very pleasant, is it? Let's see what we can do about that. Let's take these, block that bit up because we don't need to go underneath there again for a little while. Like that. We'll get some sort of cover sorted out soon enough for that, and that will rapidly fill up as well. So we need a couple of things. Let's go back to base, and I'll get them. Okay, back at base, and we have a few things going on here. We've got ourselves one experience rod, which is nice, and I found a bottle of enchanting in one of those loot bags from a heroic creature. And if we put the two of those together, you get this cool thing called a Ring of Experience. It's from Runic Dungeons, and you can grab that and pop it onto your ring slot there. I don't know if you actually need to have it on there. One of the other things that I want to get down here in my new area that I've set aside for some Britannia things and witchery, a couple of bits and bobs, got this lit up with these mystical, well, not mystical, but glimmering flowers. All you do is you add a couple of glowstone to these things, and they light the area up quite nicely, which is cool. But I have also made a floating Solagnalia, or Solgnola? Yeah, one of them. They aren't very difficult to make. These things are... where is it? There, a Solgnalia. So, couple of brown petals, a red petal, a blue petal, and this redstone root, which is just redstone and grass crafted together. Very easy to make in the Petal Apothecary, and it gives you these things. So, what does it do? Well, firstly, the floating version is just simply one of these glimmering flowers along with pasture seeds and earth, or dirt. And it makes a floating flower, and then the floating flower along with whichever other flower you fancy makes a floating version, if you haven't seen those before, and means you don't need to plant it in the dirt, it just floats away there. Now, the benefit with that is, if I come wandering over here and I have something like this, I put these down, and ordinarily my magnet would happily soak them up. But I can be stood here and I have my magnet ring on, but this flower stops it from functioning. Now if I do that, in a second, maybe, there we go. So, very handy, and I will want another one for here for this particular reason, but I also want it over next to our mob farm, so that we're not constantly fighting with that node trying to pick up the loot. So it will all get sucked up by the node, and that way go into the chest rather than filling up our inventory. So that will be nice as well. And there's also another one thing that I would quite like. Maybe not necessary. I'll try it without it first. Let's go back over and see how we get on with this now. So we have charged up our capacitor a little bit because the scythe completely drained us. And I think, now, if we put this floating flower just behind there, the area of effects should quite happily do that. Now if you'll notice, my experience bar is flying up at the moment, but I don't have a bunch of orbs right in my face. If I take this thing off, it does work just in your inventory, but if I put it in here, close that, we're going to have other things happening. Yeah, look at all this. Right in our face. Let's go take this and go put that ring on. Boom, straight away. Oh my word, look at my levels go. Oh. Well, this might be quite ridiculous. Oh, blessed peace. Here we go, and yeah, the node quite quickly catches up because we're not fighting it. Oh, it's quite pleasant to be here now. Oh my word, my levels are still going. I've never seen the like. I'm really rather excited by this. There we go. We'll do that again. And there's another ender pearl. And my levels just keep on going up. This is really rather ridiculous. Well, the next thing obviously we want to do with all these levels is we want to enchant things. Magical wood's not going to be an issue. And this armour really is kind of crying out for some sort of protection. Oh, this is obscene. This is really rather ridiculous. Yeah, so, and I can charge my wand here as well. Don't forget, because these little glowy bits are here. That should, if I go... Yeah. Yeah, I tried to do something about the spiders going up the way, because they kind of try and climb up, but this should make things a little bit better, because this scythe obviously has an area effect. That's more than fully charged at the moment. You can see the Thorncraft little orbs there. That's going quite nicely. I'll need to filter out bows and other useless stuff, but we're getting ender pearls there, not a huge amount. But of course the loot, yeah, we only put 1 lapis on there and it's up to 8 already, and we've still got 4 modifiers on that, which we can do with extra attack damage, so it only takes 1 hit to kill everything in there, and we can do some more luck maybe as well on there and stuff. But look, this is just ridiculous. My XP won't stop going up. Is it gonna? No, it's still not stopping. And we'll just kill another batch of them. Right, okay, well, I'll see you in a second once I've started my enchanting. Okay, I'm back at base, and it's about 10 minutes since I last recorded, and just look at my levels. I'm really not kidding when I say that's literally just 10 minutes. I'm in awe of what I have created. I have created a monster. I've broken the game, really. There's no enchant that is beyond me now, and I need to go and start making some enchantments and speak to Phoenix. I'll be back in a bit. Okay, we're back again, and we've been making some bits and bobs because this situation with my levels has become ridiculous, really. I'm actually a little bit concerned I've broken the game. But what we're going to do is we're going to make a couple of these things, and that, and this machine frame to make a machine chassis. Pop that there. We've got another one of these experience rods that we had for our ring earlier on, and we'll make an experience obelisk. I think that's probably for the best at this stage, and I'm going to take this up and take that away, and let's put, where's my chisel? I want to get one of those blocks back for the floor. There it is. Do this. No, that's not going to work. I'm going to have to take an entire stack, aren't I? I didn't want to have to do that, but never mind. Doesn't matter. Let's go pop this down here. That's going to annoy me. That's going to annoy me as well. Right, let's go. We've got our experience obelisk, and we will put it here. Now, for the time being, we're going to take these away, but what we will do is we will have it so it outputs this stuff into a tank behind it or something, as well as having it there, and that way we can quite rapidly get this stuff working. Also over here, excuse me for the cat meowing in the background, let's go in here and go store all. There we go. Did I just... Oh, I emptied some of those. That doesn't really matter. What we'll do is we'll do like this. I didn't... Oh, I keep on doing that. And if we configure that to push out there. There we go. It's happily going to fill that up. Excellent. And Those will stack nicely like that. Stalker's coming on because he wants to go with my XP farm. Right, let's have a look here. Now, we've got a few things going on here. We now have item conduits from Ender.io. You can see how expensive these are because we need warp item ducts, which themselves aren't too bad, to be perfectly honest. They're just normal item ducts with 1 Enderium, and it gives you 6 of the warp item ducts, and then obviously it only takes 3. So you can make 2 lots of this, but you only get 3 of these item conduits. And you do need a 2 resonant servos as well, which is fairly expensive. But also I can make, at this point, I can make 2 of these hardened servos and some temperate fluid ducts, and we can make pressurized fluid conduit as well, which is nice. Now we'll just quickly nip over and sleep whilst Phoenix is also trying to sleep. Yeah, I was making those item ducts and fluid ducts because I want it for over here so we can set up our item panel when we finally get that sorted out. But I'm repurposing one of them over here, behind here, because I want to make that into insert there and put, if I can just squeeze past there. Can I get to that? Oh, I didn't want to do that. Here he is. Just let them know. Common courtesy. I can't get out of this, but let's go around here. I would quite like to be able to get in there and do that. Can I do it with this wrench, or do I actually need a Yeta wrench? I think I'm going to actually need a Yeta wrench. Okay, let's take that and pop it. Take that, pop it one below. There we go. And now I can go extract without signal, and that's going to go into the fluid transposer. Brilliant! And we can do this. There we go. That's much better. And now we can pop that one on top there as well. That's going to feed in quite nicely. Let's sort that out again and go around. Excellent. That's just temporary at the moment, just whilst we're messing around with this magical wood. We could do something with a big drum or something as well, but that's not really necessary. So we have, for all intents and purposes, limitless XP and limitless magical wood. Now limitless XP is interesting because with a sewer from MFR, that does mean that we've got mob juice from another mob farm. So we might think about that. Mob juice, I mean essence. Hello, cat. So let's have a look and see what we can do over here now. We've got 1 book. Yes, we can do up to level 30 now with this. Perfect, that's what I was wanting. And it's only taken 8 bookshelves effectively. So let's get some enchantments on the go. Back in a bit. Okay, we're back, and I have been doing a fair bit of enchanting. I've got this all set up now. I don't know what some of these do. Void touched? No idea. Wrath? Dunno. Feather falling and efficiency, yeah, I know what those are. Corrupting? No, dunno. Yeah, so don't know what some of those are, but we've got ones here that we definitely want. I got some protection 3 books. I got 2 of those and combined them together on the anvil for protection 4, so that'll be nice. We've got soulbound, which is very nice. Particularly want that in my golden bag of holding, which would be good. And we've got this last stand. Since we've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of levels now, last stand would probably be a good idea. Reaper 3, I got this on my 4th attempt, so very pleased that we've got that. This if you don't know, is the enchant that's added by Draconic Evolution, and this is the one that gives you a better chance of getting mob souls, and mob souls are used to make mob spawners, custom mob spawners that can be upgraded to provide a ridiculous spawn rate, so always good. Unbreaking we've got, and Sharpness we've got as well. So, particularly want these ones. Now, obviously, we've only got 3 books there, and that's not going to go very far. Until, of course, I make the printing press. This is expensive. 3 blocks of thaumium. This stuff's fine, but the 3 blocks of thaumium was quite time consuming to craft and very expensive, and we need these printing press chases as well. So I'll just make the one at the moment, and I do have some books still on me. The thing that I am lacking is squid, but they have now spawned outside, which is nice. I think it's dark o'clock out there. Yeah, it is. But I need to get some squid because I don't have any ink. And to be able to use printing stuff, kind of need ink. Let's just get as much ink as we can from over here. And do a little bit of swimming about under here. I will set up maybe some sort of ink farm at some point in the future. But for the time being, these spawn relatively regularly out here. And how's that? Oh, we got a reasonable amount. This will do for the time being. We're not going to be able to copy that many things just yet anyway. So let's get back inside, and we will see about getting some of these books copied with the... Ooh, hello. Right, that's better. Yeah, we can, using this thing, we will now be able to copy these books. Let's set this up right here. There we go. So we need to put ink onto the thing, like that, I think. Oh, there we go. Yep. And, oh, we need the typesetting table as well. Ooh, no. Is this going to be horrendous? No. We need redstone chipset, blaze rod, and printing press chase. Right. Let's go get that set up just now. And I'll be back in 2 seconds. Okay, we should be good to go now with this. 1 redstone chipset in there, 1 typesetting table. Also over here I have made myself these reading glasses. These are the Bibliocraft equivalent of the goggles of revealing, I suppose. Oh, and I need to get another one of those printing press chases now, since I used that one crafting that table. So let's go over here, and we can get these books on there. Don't think we'll need all of those. And let's take our first one of these. What are we wanting? I think the protection one, shall we? So we can go that in there. Requires 40 levels. See, protect your mouse over. Now, if you don't have these reading glasses on, you can't see that. I think it'll still work, but you just can't see it. So, reading glasses for the win. And you look kind of cool. So, 40 levels. We will go like that. I've only got 30. There we go, 40 levels, and we need to put, I think, that in there, 1 chase in there, and yeah, shift right click on the book, and you get this thing, the enchanted plate, and as you can see, protection 4. Now, I need to put that ink back on there that I took off to make the glasses, pops on there, and I think if we should sort of right click on there, yeah, right click onto that bit of the plate, and it does this thing. And it should in theory, there we go. Can I just... There we go. Taking it off, and when you take it off, there was a shift right click there to take it off. These can be a little bit funny. They're quite picky about where you click on them, but it does work. And if I take this off, yeah, just a right click, you'll see that it's got a damage bar here. Now, I believe later on what we can do is, using Thaumcraft, I don't think I've got the research to do this. Let's have a quick look just now. I think it's an artifice, and I think there's a block that can do auto repair. I think it's up kind of this neck of the woods here, and I think that you can actually repair these chases. So effectively, if you're careful, you can have unlimited books, which would be very pleasant indeed. At this point, however, we're just going to have to continue to craft these printing press chases. You do get 3 uses out of this. So you get to replace the book that you used to make the chase, and then you get 2 more. So you double your books each time. But these are quite expensive. 2 thaumium and 2 mana steel on each of these printing press chases. But that, it's an expensive thing, because it's it's pretty overpowered. Well, it's not overpowered, but it's pretty cool to be able to copy these books. So I am going to go and I'm going to get copy up sufficient of these things. Oh, actually, before we go, there was one other thing that I was wanting to do, because Stalker swung by with a really rather nice present for me. He has been making big progress and dropped off these. So the problem with these is, as opposed to the normal recipe for jetpacks, they require these reactant dynamos, and I think that's actually the same normal recipe, except that that's pretty nasty, and to be able to do that, you need to be able to have a nuclear reactor. So yeah, but he's got a nuclear reactor, so he's done that, which means we can upgrade our leadstone to a hardened jetpack, which is rather nice, and it's not very difficult to do. We take some of that, and I think I want to go and see uses of that, please. I want... Where are we? Yeah, I want 2 Invar and a tin. There's a tin, and I've got the Invar. And I'll need, like that. Let's go 2 Invar, 1 tin, 1 of them, 3 of these, like that. And then I can go like that, with that, I think like that. These 2 there, and that like that gives us a hardened jetpack. Superb. And what I'm wanting to do with that as well is I want to get some of this bronze armor, and I'm going to put some armor on it and see if I can enchant that as well. But I'm going to do that in between episodes. I'm going to get myself armored up, and hopefully next episode me and Stalker are off to do some cool stuff. So until then, it's Geeky Technojock saying bye-bye and have a funs.